to another episode of Life Covered, and I'm your host, Miss Bambays. So join us today as we delve into the topic of veterans. So we have a young veteran here.
Yep.
So he's going to give us the backstory, how it all started. So sir, can you please introduce yourself and give us a little backstory? How old were you when you decided to join the military, and what was the inspiration joining at that time?
Thanks, Miss Bambi. So my name is Akbar TK. Anyway, whichever one you feel comfortable calling me. Just a backstory about me. I joined the army back in 2011. I know it makes me feel so old. So when I joined, I think I was 23 going 24.
Mm-hmm.
So to make a long story short, I joined the US Army because growing up, right, I grew up on movies like Rambo, Commando, stuff like that, back in Cameroon. So I used to see those movies, and those movies were so cool. So I wanted something like that, because I wanted that experience, because I used to see those guys that was just so cool and so nice, and the bond they used to have and all the acting. So I just wanted to be part of something bigger or something like that, right? So that was really because if you know me way back, that's something I always talked about, even when I was in high school back in Cameroon. I always loved the US Army, and I guess that was just like a dream for me.
Wow.
When I joined. So basically that's kind of like my inspiration.
It's a Rambo for me, I'm telling you. It's a Rambo for me. When you joined, was the change very overwhelming, and how long did it take for you to adapt to that new lifestyle?
Okay, so when you join, right, sometimes you don't know what you're getting yourself into, because you have new soldiers that join the military, that they had their parents, their brothers, and they told them that, hey, this is what you're getting yourself into. So I'm one of those people. When I joined, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, because I just saw them, like I said, the movie.
You were there for the Rambo story.
Yes. When I got in, I was like, oh my God, this is completely different, because remember, there it's like your whole life is being controlled. They tell you when to eat, when to go and leave, when to go out. So it's just a control environment that sometimes not everybody's used to that. So it took me a while. I'll say yes, it took me a while to actually understood what was going on and to actually get adapted to that, right? But I'm happy that I finally got adapted, and yeah.
So did you have any exciting moments that made you feel like you made a great decision? And were these exciting moments?
Oh my God. So I always tell people this: if I was to do it again, I'll do it again over. I even do it again when I think my greatest regret was even doing it later, because I said I'll join when I was 23 going 24. I could have joined when I was like 18 or 19, I had wonderful times. I met great people. I met friends that I'm still in touch with today. I saw the best of America. I saw people from all over the world, people from different countries. It's like a melting pot.
It sounds like a whole adventure.
Yes, yeah, it is an adventure, and also I was able to travel to a lot of places, right? As a young person, sometimes when you join, you get people that they get sent to Germany, Italy, Korea, and the army pays for all that, or the military, depending on what branch you are in, pays for that stuff. So it's a really, really good adventure. I think I've been to Oklahoma, I've been to New York, I've been to California, I've been to so many different places that the army have actually sent me there for adventure. That I would say, when it comes to the adventure part, yes, I had a lot of fun just going to new places and meeting new people. So it was a good adventure. That you take that. So
did you have any challenging moments that you faced, and what lessons did you pull out from this challenging moment?
Yes. So one of the challenging moments, remember coming from Africa, right? The weather back home is a little bit different from here. So let's say you join and they send you to a place like upstate New York that I was there. If you've never been to upstate New York, I'm talking about Syracuse, Watertown. So you being stationed there, it gets into the minus 20. Yeah, in Houston.
Weather.
Yes. So
Jesus.
so yeah, in Houston. Yeah. So
Did you just say minus 20?
yeah, minus 20. Yeah, one time that's the worst. That's the worst we ever that we got. Most of the time it's between like -5, -10, but the one time we got minus 20. So you being in Houston, that when it's like 40, everybody's shivering, you crying. So just imagine that you station there, so the weather can really be. As a matter of fact, that was the first time in my life that I actually saw a frozen river.
Wow.
Meaning that there's a river right next to where I stay. It was frozen, and you could walk on the river, right? Like I've seen it on TV, I've never seen it. So that can be a challenge for somebody that's not used to that.
it, yes.
Then it goes back again to the command structure, right? Like you meet people that will give you orders, telling you things that maybe you don't like, So again, it goes back to that. And sometimes, yes, like every other organization, you have what we call toxic leadership, right? Leadership that is not really the best, So you face with that, but I believe that's minor compared to the benefit that you get. So those are just some of the challenges and how did I overcome the challenges?
Yeah.
I tried as much as possible just to keep my head cool because I know what I wanted out of the army, right? I know what I was looking for. So I didn't really care about
think about it too much.
Because if I know the end goal, what is happening at the present doesn't really matter much, because it's not that toxic leader, right? That because I know what I want, right? Because it's easy for me just to say F you, then I lose everything. But if I know what I want, I'll play along until when I get out. Okay, I got it, right? So that's just how sometimes just keep your head cool and just know what you want, because again, the good thing is like you won't be in that environment forever. Like that's the good thing in the army. You get moved from one place to another so much. You may be in this place today, you don't like it. You go somewhere else, you love it. You may be in this place, you love it. You go somewhere else, it's just
So I think that you were determined, you were focused when you got into that thing.
Yes.
And you already knew that no matter what, there's nothing that's gonna make you back down.
Yes. The end goal. Yes.
Interesting.
Yep.
So currently, are you still serving in the army? Are you part time? I don't know how.
No reserve. So
reserve.
That's you.
Thank you.
I did my time. So I did almost 8 years. So I did my time completely. Yet I understand what you're saying. Like, I think every soldier is supposed to serve a minimum of 8 years, right? Because sometimes that's why you go active duty. You do like 4 years, then they say you have another 4 years of inactive reserve. What that simply means is like if something happens within that 4 years, like if a war comes on, if a war starts, and then they can pull you. Yes, but for me, so for me, I'm completely. I'm done. So yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, what are the biggest challenges faced by you now that you have transitioned fully into civilian life?
Well, so one of the biggest challenges you face sometimes is, I believe, the way I communicate, especially with my spouse, because in the army, being there for so long, I don't want to use the word program. Yes.
Your mind is structured.
Yeah, your mind is structured for you to do things in a specific way. You need to talk in a specific way and to get a specific result, right? So when you get out, you have that expectation, attitude, and sometimes you forget that civilians, or we call people civilians that have never joined, they don't understand. Yes, right? Yeah, they don't understand the whole, because your mind has been programmed. Okay, A's, B's, like So sometimes having that communication, becomes an issue, right? It might be with your spouse, even with some friends that don't understand you, right? So yes, I know I work on that, so I try to like understand that, okay, and I try to break it down that this is what I mean, because I know in the army A plus A, B, okay, boom, 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 okay, just like that. So I think I have sometimes I face that issue.
It has progressed.
Yes.
That's right. You're getting there.
Yes, yes.
All right. So, how do young veterans navigate the process of finding employment and education opportunities after the service?
Well, that's a good question. So, there are so many benefits and organizations that are out there to help veterans. And I know most government jobs, there's what we call like a veteran priority. So
Right.
if you're veterans, you have like high priority to get a job, right?
That's really good.
Yes, depending on your skills, like, you know, let's say if there's a job and we have the same skills, they'll pick a veteran over a non-veteran. So like the VA on their website, they have programs to teach veterans new skills, IT skills. And they are like, I think the Disabled Veterans Organization. There are so many, even in the state level, right? There are so many opportunities on websites and places that as a veteran, you can go and better yourself. If you want to go to school, for example, I know most people heard about what's called the GI Bill. The GI Bill is just a structure that when you save and you come out with an honorable discharge, right? You can decide to be like, okay, I want to go to school, and you go to school loan free because the VA pays for your school,
Wow.
plus give you a monthly allowance
Wow.
to sustain yourself. So
Wow, that's great.
those are just some of the things that as a veteran or resources that are out there that can help veterans. Like, and also they also pay for job placement programs, not just that regular school, but there's job placement programs that are in place to help
can
veterans.
help you,
Yes.
direct yourself when you're ready to get that job.
Yes.
Okay. So now we're going to talk a little bit about PTSD.
Okay.
So what support systems are in place to help young veterans deal with PTSD, trauma, or any mental health concerns?
Well, so PTSD is those things that affect veterans, and sometimes a lot of civilians don't understand. Like because you have never been there, right? So you
Yes.
don't really understand. They're like, oh, like for example, just looking at a veteran, right? They may have their arm, face, everything, but mentally, what they have gone through, you can't even understand what they have seen, right? And PTSD comes in different forms, right? You must not be in combat to be PTSD. There are some veterans that were sexually assaulted, and when they think about the trauma in their mind, it troubles them, right? Like back in my unit, for example, there's one of a soldier, a friend of mine, not a friend, like colleague of mine, that committed suicide, and the whole unit, and they went there, we look, and you saw him hanging there, right? So you seeing that exactly. So you seeing that everybody handles issues like that differently. There's somebody that has a stronger will, be like, that's nothing. But there's somebody that is gonna traumatize them, right? So there's so many, like I said, organizations that are put in place to help veterans that are having PTSD, be it in the fact that they were in a war zone, or be in the fact that they were here at home, accident, head injury. And one of the biggest of that is the VA. The VA has a very, very robust, I would say, system or line that if you're facing crisis, you're facing suicide, you can call and they'll help you out. So that's why I always advise every veteran out there to always check the VA, check their website. Apart of the VA, I go back again to organizations like the Disabled Veterans of America. There are many others, even at the state level. If you just go to your local work source, for example, Texas work source, where you go to look for work, and you say, I'm a veteran, I think I have PTSD. Do you have any resources that I can help? They'll refer you to places like that. Yes, so there are so many resources and places that as a veteran, you can go to like get information that will help you.
Wow, this is really a lot of information
Yes.
I have never heard before.
Yes.
So how can someone join the military, and is there a limit like on the age group, for example, and maybe weight as well? And then apart from the age aspect, what about the health and physical requirements of any individual?
Yes, so there is a lot of misconception, right, going out there about who can join, who cannot join. Some people, especially us that we came from Africa, sometimes if you're an F1 student, can you join? There's a lot of misconception going out there. So the best way for you to get the most recent and up-to-date information, number one is to check out with your local recruiter. But I'm going to give you the information that I know, but again, it changes. So last time, to join, you have to understand the U.S. Army, the U.S. military has 5 branches.
Okay.
So it has the Air Force, the Army, the Marines, the Navy, and the Coast Guard. I know sometimes people don't consider the Coast Guard. Yeah, yes. So the military is like the big one. Then you have those branches under.
Okay.
So I know the 4 big ones people know about is the Army, Air Force, Marines, and the Navy. They don't talk about the Coast Guard. Each of those branches have their own standard when it comes to like, or the age limit, right? I think for the Army right now it changes. Don't quote me for it. Army is like 40. That's the age limit. You have to be 40 on your birthday, the day they ship you for basic training. And the Air Force is 37. I might be wrong, right? Yes. So that is the age part of it. Now, for the other part, you have to be at least a green card holder. So let nobody tells you that you go in there to fight for your green card. That's just a misconception. So at least a green card holder or a citizen, obviously. Then you have to be at least either a high school if you want to join as enlisted. Then if you want to join as an officer, you have to have a degree. Then you have to be a U.S. citizen. So that's, you see, U.S. citizen and a degree to become an officer. But if you want to join just as an enlisted, you have at least a high school diploma, a green card. Then there's a test that you take.
Very useful information.
Yeah, then there's a test that you take. It's called the ASVAB test. You can Google the ASVAB.
What is it about?
So the test measures is like English writing, reading, and some other science stuff. Right? It's a basic test.
Science.
Yeah. It's not too complicated. Yes, it's not too complicated. So once you take that test, right? So you pass the test, and then obviously there's a physical requirement. So they'll give you a physical standard like running, sit-ups, and I think push-ups, and they'll do some blood works on you to make sure that you're okay. So that is like the rundown. I think that the recruiters can best explain that. And there's something else I was going to talk when it comes to the requirement, the test. Okay, the test you take, very important. The job you have in the military is determined by the score of the ASVAB test.
I see.
I repeat that again. Very important. So what you score on the ASVAB test depends the kind of job that you can have, right? The higher you score, the more job opportunities that you have, right? Because let's say because remember, the military has all kinds of jobs. That's why sometimes people don't understand.
Yeah, because generally we think that it's just to go and fight.
No. So you have those. You have the infantry, you have the Marines, the scouts, right? Their job is to go down, kick down doors, and but there's another side of it called support. Why those people are doing that? You are there. For example, you give them fuel, you give them food, you give them ammunition. Then you make sure their weapons are accounted for, because you have to support. Because without that support, and it's just as crucial, your role is just as crucial as them. Because if you don't support them fighting in the field, they cannot fight. Right. So no one, even though sometimes the infantry may be like, we are the one doing all that stuff, but your job is just as important, because you supply them with all the necessary stuff, right? If they don't have it, then they cannot do the battles the way they're supposed to.
You make sure they're good to go before they go.
Medics, you have medics, people out there that when they get wounded, they have to treat them in the field, right? Then you have lawyers like Jack, lawyers that are out there making sure that everybody's doing the right thing, right? So you have accountants.
Let me ask you a quick question real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you short, but all this just like they train you while you're in the military to get all them degrees, or do you have to have these degrees and experiences before you get into the military? So
remember, we talk about enlisted and officers, right?
Yes.
So there's some jobs that are for enlisted jobs, right? Like, for example, to be a medic, for you to be specific medic, a first aid medic, right? There's some jobs that once you get, those jobs are tailored towards enlisted. The training phase of every soldier in two phases. The first phase is what you call your boot camp or your basic training. Okay. Maybe you've heard about that.
Yes.
So the basic training is basically training you to be a soldier, right? They will say we break you down then rebuild you. So what they do is like they let you forget all the stuff as civilian. In basic training, they tell you when to get up, how to make your bed, how to make your socks, how to shoot your weapon. So that's the essence of that basic training.
Right.
Building up soldiers. Once they have built you up as a soldier, you go to what is called a trade school, A school. That A school is where you are going to be trained for the specific jobs that you want to do.
Okay.
And some trade schools can run from months to years. Because, for example, someone that is in a medical field, right? Let's say they're doing some medical fields, some trades. I've heard some trade school going for like 2 years, right? Because they have to train you. Yes, they do train you. While some is just a couple of months because it's not too technical.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So to get your question, yes, they train you, and then for the officer side, yes, they can train you, right? I know we don't have enough time, but it's very possible that the army can train you to become a doctor.
Wow.
Train you to be a lawyer.
Are you guys hearing this?
Yes, I know people that join the army as enlisted, right? Or what in Cameroon you call sangalong, from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But the army, they work their way up, and the army train them, and today they're cardiologists.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
so it's not impossible. It's the resources are there. It depends on you,
If you
how
want to
you
use those
and how bad.
resources.
And I always say, how bad do you want it? How bad, like how bad do you want it? Yes.
Yes, because generally, the normal civilian,
Yes.
like some of us,
Yes.
we just know that when you get there is to do one thing. I don't think we have really thought about the fact that you are going to be trained for a whole field if you want to be whatever. So it's not like, because basically we know, okay, you go to school, you get trained, or you do some courses somewhere, you'll be able to get a job. But they give the opportunity.
They give you as a matter of fact, when you are in, my fellow veterans will know, depending on your unit. Remember, I talk about toxic leadership. Mm-hmm. Some unit, when you are in, they give you the opportunity to even take online classes, right? Let's say you want to go to school, you take online classes, and again, there's just so much opportunity for you to grow. Again, because I'm talking about the army. I was in the army, so I can speak of the army because I know it best.
Yes.
When you are in the army, right? Let's say you join as an enlisted, because I've seen some people say, "Oh, I don't want to join as an enlisted because it's the lowest of the lowest." But remember that it's easy to make rank, to go up, walk up the ladder, and go from a low person to a sergeant, staff sergeant, sergeant first class. I know Cameroonians that are
so enlisted, guys. It's not a death sentence.
Yes,
okay, you can grow from there.
You can go. I know Cameroonians that are sergeant first classes, first sergeants. I'm talking about controlling. I know people that have made it. They walk their way up, and they are sergeant first classes, first sergeants. It's very possible. Even on the officer side, I know Cameroonians that are majors, captains. So again, remember when you join. So sometimes I tell people this: join, right? Because once you've joined, it's easy for you to transition from an enlisted to an officer if you want to. There's another thing people don't know. It's called a warrant officer. Who's a warrant officer? A warrant officer is simply a technical person. What do I mean by that? Like sometimes the army need pilots to fly those planes, right?
Yes.
So the army train their own pilots. So you're not enlisted, you're not officer, but you are a pilot. So they give you. I just give you an example. A lot of planes or helicopters in the army are being flown by warrant officers. But the other fields that warrant officers do permit. So when you grow, you have the opportunity, because again, I know a Cameroonian that is a warrant officer. So I'm talking about African that are warrant Nigerians. So those are all opportunities that are there, because I've heard people discourage a lot of people that don't join because, enlisted this or enlisted that.
Because of the common misconception we have, and that we don't even understand.
We don't understand it because first of all, don't ever compare a Sangalong rank in Cameroon or Africa with the one.
That's right.
It's not
correction.
Don't compare because first of all, the pay, the structure, the training, the mind. Yes, it's completely different. Yes.
All right. So, what advice are you going to give to any individual that is planning or even thinking of joining the military or the army or whichever section one day? What advice will you give to them?
Join as soon as you can because look, no, honestly, you. I always say to myself, if I had an opportunity, I'll do it again, and I'll do it at a younger age. And the reason I always say this is because look, the military is a job that you join. Like let's say you're 18, you do 20, you're 38, you can retire with your retirement benefit. If you are strong enough to do that, right?
Yes.
At 38, are you old?
No, you're still strong.
Good, good. So that's the point.
Very strong.
So you have that retirement pay, and then you have a lot of life and other things that you can do. Now, if you join, let's say you join, you don't like it, you go in there, it's not for you. We talk about the GI Bill, the education. There are so many things that you can come out and be like, okay, I've joined this, I don't like it, but now I want to go out and be a doctor, a pharmacy, a lawyer.
So they're still gonna be able to help you even though you left.
Once your contract is over, because
Okay.
remember that you signed by contract.
That's right.
Just make sure they don't kick you out. Because
That's right.
just
No
make
dishonorable discharge, guys.
Yes. So remember what I was saying. Keep your head down if you know what you
Yes.
want at the beginning. Yes. So just make sure
Focus.
you're focused. They don't kick you out. So once you get out, then you can go. Because think about it. Just to go to school and pay tuition. You know how much tuition is, right? Every doctor, pharmacist, they'll tell how much student loan they have. Okay. Then how about you? Okay, let's just say somebody joins, they are 18. You sign a 3-year contract. You go 18, 19, 20, 21. You're out. At 21, you're still very young.
And you can still achieve a lot.
Oh, exactly. So you decide, okay, I want to go to school. You come by 25, 26, you're out of school, debt free. Somebody that did not join and went directly to school, they have a debt that they have to pay.
Yeah.
If you two go to a job interview, you have the advantage because you're a veteran, because some jobs put priority over veterans. So you see, so that's why I say, and again, we talked about this, right? Don't have the mindset that when you're joining, they have to ship you, you're going to Iraq, you're going to Afghanistan.
Don't think about it. Just do what you gotta do.
Yes. So and also other advantage that I'd advise people, us Africans or immigrants that want to join, when you join, especially you have a spouse that's a non-immigrant, a family member, it makes the process a little bit easier. It makes the process a little bit easier, right? For you to bring. I know a lot of Cameroonians. I know everybody will be like, "Oh, I've done it. I don't. I mean, I don't have to be in the army to do it." But the truth is that when you are in, they give you more priority. It makes it a little bit easy and faster for stuff like that.
And
If
you
you
can have the family.
exactly. So those are the things that because I remember when I joined, I know that I think they changed it. I became a citizen even before I finished my boot camp training. So I joined in 2011. When I was in training, they came and gave my citizenship within that training. Not the green card. Remember, I have to have a green card. Yeah, the citizenship. So those are some of the things that you know you can. It depends on your needs and what.
Really interesting and a lot of information that I have never heard before.
Then if you go and you hurt yourself, right? Because you have a lot of veterans that have hurt themselves, injured themselves during training, during action. There are programs in place that can help you, financial programs that the VA has put in place. So those are some of the things that you have to look at, right? That the VA has put all these financial programs in place. It's an upward. It's not a secret that if you're set, they are there for them to use. You know, it's not a scam. It's not. There are programs there for you to actually use. If you're hurt, you apply for those programs. If you get approved, you use them. So those are things that you like. How many jobs does that? I don't know, but those are the things sometimes you have to Look at.
This has been the most interesting topic. Like, I've learned a lot. So many things I was really clueless about.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure to have you here, Mr. Agbo.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have you on this platform another
No,
day.
and
So
no,
you are coming back.
No,
Okay.
no problem. So I'll end by saying this. I have a sergeant that when I joined, he used to tell me that the army is like an app on your phone, right? If you have a Google, you have the Play Store. On I think on Apple, you have the Apple Store. Anything that you want, you will find it, right? It doesn't matter if you go in, you don't like the army. There's an app for you to find what you're looking for. So if you go, you love it. You want to make a rank as an enlisted. There's an app for that. If you want to make a rank as an officer, if you want to make a rank as a it depends on all just what you are looking for, right? And also don't follow other people, what other people say.
Yeah, your story is different.
Your story is different, right? Because somebody may go in there and they don't like it. You go in there and they don't like it, and
they want to
discourage you. So your story is different, right? So when you go, find your own purpose, find your own story, right? And also don't get out just because you want to get out.
That's right.
Have a goal.
That's right.
Sometimes a lot of veterans have issues because they go in there, they don't like it, then they want to get out without having a goal. Before you get out, have a game plan.
That's right.
Make sure you have a game plan on why you're getting out and how.
Plan B.
Yes, because
structured.
You go, okay, I want to get out. Remember, when you're in the army or when you're in the military, you get paid the 1st and the 15th.
That's right.
You are there for like a long time. That's regular paycheck. Once the day you stop the contract, that income stops. So if you just go and you don't have a game plan, you'll be like, I hate this, I hate these people, let me go out.
It's like you're going back to square one.
They without having a game plan on how you having an income, right? Because what the game plan you see, it affects you. But if you have a game plan, for example, a game plan might simply mean that, number one, I'll be going to school. Before you get out, you find the school you're going to, you register for the school, you apply for the VA benefit that we're paying for that school. So you just transition from you leaving and you going to school, the VA picks up.
Something clearly in place to help you. Another
game plan can be joining the police. For example, most police departments do hire veterans. That's one of the easiest jobs you can get as a veteran.
Wow.
Most police departments, like if you go at HPG right now, you go to their website or sheriff department, you will see that as a veteran, you have a priority.
So, what's the transition like? Do you have to go through a whole robust training all over again?
Yes. So they'll give you a benefit, but they'll train you. Because sometimes, yes, those. For example, okay, I almost joined the Texas Department of Public Safety. Those guys that you don't like, that give tickets all the time. But luckily for me, those guys that all they do is give out tickets, right? They just stand there and give out tickets. Yes, so we had that with the priority. So you go, because if you go there and you take the test, you see, it's huge. I had people from Oklahoma, I had people from other police departments coming to become a Texas State Trooper, right? So, but you as a veteran, you have priority. Yes. Oh yeah. So that's something. If you want to be a border patrol agent, again, that's what I'm saying. There are just so many.
It's really vast.
Yes. So sometimes when you are getting out, those guys in the border patrol, they come to your unit, they come to where you are stationed, and they start advertising. Yeah, they say, okay, so you can just transition. But if you say that I'm done with uniform, I don't really want to be none of that stuff. Again, there are other programs that we mentioned that can help you
transition into any field.
But just make sure you have a plan. If you don't know what plan, you don't know what you're looking for, you can talk to somebody that's already out
and try to find yourself.
Another good thing, try to get into a community of veterans. I'm not talking about Richmond or Houston veterans. I'm talking about real military veterans.
Real?
No, nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with Houston or Richmond veterans, but because
Be open-minded.
yeah, the open-minded. Because once you have like veterans, like they'll share information that's very useful, right? It is a community, right? Because they might tell you things that you don't know,
True.
tell you opportunities that you don't even know existed. So it's always good if you know your fellow veterans, you know, and also if you're a veteran, you have information, please share.
Share as well.
You know, I think yeah. So just to make the community grow and just to make people aware of all the things that are out there that can be beneficial. So yeah.
So guys, I hope you all have learned a lot from what he said today. He has given out a lot of information that can really help anybody who is trying to get into the military or who is in the military trying to find themselves. This information is really, really, really helpful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
No problem.
you. And as I said, I'm hoping to have you back on this platform
Yes.
in the future.
Yes.
Well, that's it. Thank you guys for watching this beautiful episode. I enjoyed myself and I hope you guys did as well. And see you on another episode of Life Covered. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.